I'm not young and I'm not athletic, but Rory McIlroy is. Welcome to What You Can Learn from the Pros with Sky TV. Hi, I'm Jonathan Yarwood. Let's go inside and see what we can learn from Rory's swing. Okay, let's see what we can learn from the new kid on the block here, Rory McIlroy. You can see he's built tremendously well for golf. He's very athletic. He's stood in an extremely athletic position, and he's got some traits in there that are common to a lot of really good players through history. He's got big glutes, he's got big thighs, he's a strong, stocky kid. And he really utilises that throughout his swing. You know, being built like that is really conducive to being accurate and being a great ball striker. So physiologically, he's ahead of the game. If you look, as we start his swing here from this athletic position, you know, it's pretty conventional at the start. Then as he starts to wind up here, you can see the club sort of starts winding up. But if you gently watch his left hip here as he goes to the top here, his left hip and his left knee start changing direction as he's going back. That is a real common trait of a lot of good players, where they change gear with their lower body as their upper body's still winding up. So you can see now he changes gear with his left hip even more, and he starts to unwind and creates what I term tremendous down pressure. He's lost a bit of height, he's created a lot of energy down into the ground. He's got his lower body changing direction and his upper body's holding position. That really builds up a lot of torque and a lot of speed in his arms. It creates a lot of energy and a lot of pressure and puts the club on a really good plane. The only thing I think over time he's got to watch, and I think his swing will evolve a little bit over time. I think he's going to have to slow his hip action down a little bit, because it just gets him a little bit stuck on occasion. You can see from here now, as he sort of moves his left side out of the way, the arms just get powered through with tremendous speed. But you can see it gets a little bit, what I would term a little bit rotary through there, a little bit fiddly. So, you know, he's a great player with what he's got, but I think he could be even better with a couple of modifications, and I think he will modify it as he goes through his career. So let's go out on the range and see what we can learn. Most people just look at golf swings from a playing perspective and a positional perspective. If you look at Rory McIlroy's swing, one of the major components, as we've seen on video, is how he creates and transfers energy, how he synchronises things up, and how he changes direction. That change of direction really creates some unbelievable torque. You know, if he stood on a pressure plate in the ground and he changed direction, the readings on that pressure plate would be unbelievable. So, you know, as he winds up to the top here, you can see he changes direction with his knee and his hip as he's starting to wind back, and you can see the torque that puts in this elastic. You can see how it creates some tremendous stretch between the lower body going one way and the upper body going the other. That loads the arms with energy and speed. So as he changes direction here, starts down a touch early with the knee and hip, all of a sudden now, as the hip moves out of the way, the arm's got tons of speed. That's going to increase your power and increase your accuracy. So next time you go out to the golf course, get the feeling of starting down with your hip and your knee just a tiny bit earlier. A way you could do it, obviously you're probably not going to wander around with a piece of elastic attached to your knee like I am. A way you could sort of create this sort of delayed feeling and this arm speed feeling is to get a couple of clubs here. Just get a couple of clubs and all of a sudden it becomes very heavy. As you go back here in your little practice swing, just start down with that knee and that hip. Really feel like they change direction a fraction earlier. You know, mentally have a little cue to say, hey, let's go. You know, so you'd really get that thing to change direction earlier. And with these clubs, it starts to feel very heavy. The arms feel heavy, the club feels heavy, and it really gives you the feeling of delay in your arms. And when you swing through, it really feels really heavy. Now, when you get rid of them, it has the effect on all of a sudden it feeling really light. So all of a sudden now, my arms increase in speed. So the change of direction of the hip and the knee early allows the arms to really speed through the shot with more power. So try swinging a couple of clubs and try starting down a little bit earlier. So we stand over the shot here, a couple of little feels. So you literally say in your mind, go. I think Rory's swing's going to evolve over time. I think if there's one criticism we've got to make of it, is the fact that occasionally the arms travel a little bit too far. A lot of modern swings are working on a much shorter arm swing. And what you don't realise is a lot of these good players are constantly working on their swings. It's like a painting that never gets finished, if you like. And Rory's no exception. His swing will continue to evolve. He knows it's never going to be perfect. And I think if he shortens his arm swing a little bit, his arms will be a little bit more in sync with his hips rather than being a little bit stuck behind his hips, as you saw on video. As soon as it gets a little stuck behind the hips, There's a lot of hand action through the ball here, so sometimes he's going to be a little inconsistent doing that. So over time he's going to shorten his arm swing a little bit just to match his arms and his hip turn on the way through a little better, and just reduce that hip turn, that manipulation through the ball. Thanks for watching What You Can Learn for the Pros. I'm Jonathan Yarwood. Play well.